All right, so we just pulled up at the Mr. Zach Fowler's Makery and Mischiefs place. We have been traveling forever. Windiest road ever. Good morning,
Kevin.
how are you doing, man?
Good. How's it going? Nice to finally meet you.
It is.
We didn't actually meet when I was up there, did we?
No,
No.
You were like.
I was out in the woods with your brother the whole time.
So look
And
at
stuff.
Did you say hello to that?
It's Inception, camera Inception.
Whoa.
Like they could go from one video to the next.
That's weird. That was the windiest road I have ever driven on in my entire life.
What, coming down to
I don't know. It was like the
all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I took the back road into the United States.
Yeah.
And I took the 300-mile windiest road. It was insane.
Right.
That was crazy. But
so, those of you that don't know, this is Kevin from Modern Self-Reliance, the Wooded Beardsman's brother, and he's here to help us with the build. So
you got everything set up?
It's right there.
It's in the shade too. Perfect.
Yeah, for now, yeah. it should be enough for us to rip and tear and stuff.
Perfect.
So let me come on in. I'll show you around.
All right, let's get started. So if you've ever visited somebody else's workshop, there's always a unique take on how they do stuff, and I'm just kind of like, this is what am I minute 5 into this tour?
Yeah.
Officially, this is inside of Zach's brain right here.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
There's a lot to take in, man.
Yeah.
It's a busy place. I'm used to like it's me and my thoughts.
Yeah.
And now I've got me, my thoughts, and all yours.
Yeah, and all of my guys.
That's crazy.
So we got a crazy.
Is it always this busy around here?
Not always. Chris and Ralph are here to help out with the build, but they, and then Aaron. But so Matt, so this is Matt, my editor, and Grant. He does Amos Rodriguez channel, and Greg, John does Greg Ovens,
Okay.
Channel, and then Aiden does my videos into everybody else's videos, turns them into Facebooks.
Okay.
He's the one that's turned a couple of years into the Facebook ones.
Okay.
And stuff.
I'm actually your editor. Good to meet you.
Really? You're my editor? I thought I can fire my brother now?
Yeah. No.
I'm kidding. He's editing this. Probably.
Yeah. So he's editing that out now.
Were there this many people here when Chris was here?
When Chris was here, I don't think so.
A couple years ago now.
I think
Probably 2 less.
it was just me and you.
And
No, I don't think any of these guys were here. Right?
Crazy.
Because I was doing all the editing back then, and I think
There's another one back there. Look,
You were
it's
here?
just like people.
you were. Yeah. So John wasn't even here. So no. And then there's Lisa in there. Sarah's my wife's sister, who is doing sponsorships and ordering the website and stuff like that.
Wow, you just won't. You don't see this in Canada. You don't.
Yeah.
Nobody plays together in Canada.
Well,
Did you know that?
Like your brother said that nobody works from home either. Like they're in a big box store or they're at a business of some sort.
Yeah,
right?
like there's no initiative in Canada. There's no the people that just don't collaborate with other people.
Really?
It's very strange.
Huh.
It is very strange. You would never see this amount of people without like not a company. Like it's crazy.
Well, we are.
There's gonna be a quiz on names later, right?
Quiz on names later. Yes. So this is my regular workshop over here. Tiny. This was the original shipping and handling for the website, and we still do like my signature slingshots. The Hornet and stuff are actually made at a place down the road, Knox Machine Company.
Yeah.
And then we put them in the little packages here and put the slingshot bands with them.
I've never shot a slingshot without the wrist thing.
We'll have to do it. We'll get you shooting a slingshot. Let's see if you can't outshoot your brother by the time we send you back. Because I only gave him a small lesson.
Oh.
And you get, and then our camera storage and all right, we got our. This thing's cool. We'll have to build some little piece. So
laser cutter or is it?
Yeah, a laser cutter.
Oh, crazy.
So this Glowforge, awesome. We cut the slingshot pouches.
Yeah.
Out of it, and it cuts it through microfiber.
Yeah.
And stuff, so it's like it makes all the slingshot pouches for our website. That's and cool. I have 4 different types of like signature ones, like kangaroo hide.
Yeah.
And it cuts those, and then like these are like laminated with navy fabric that's like waterproof.
Vegan. This is vegan. This is not vegan.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So kangaroo, vegan, not so vegan, and then these ones out of microfiber and stuff, and
those are
yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and then we engrave like the shovel handles in there and everything. So that's the one I used to.
So you have a rotary tool for it.
This one it just sits there and it does a pretty good job.
Oh, okay.
This one got messed up. That's why it ended up there. But that was when we first set up the machine. Sometimes it gets a little messed up.
Look at that guy.
Recognize that, huh?
That's why to get it in Canada is so expensive, because it comes from the United States.
Yeah, we haven't been able to figure out a Canadian warehouse so that we could ship, you know, and have it at a warehouse and then have another shipping facility there yet. But someday we're going to, so then we can give you guys a better price.
But you know what's crazy? Shipping within Canada while you're in Canada is still crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, we do all kinds of stuff on that laser. Like, I'll show you the coolest thing on the laser. Check this out upstairs.
I've been looking for a spiral staircase for a while. I don't think this will fit in the car though.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of video of you kind of like working on this because I was curious. So this was at one point, what, an attic?
It was just a barn, you know, and it had a second semi-loft when I first bought it. And then we ripped all the walls out. We pulled up all the wood from the floors and we spray foamed the whole thing, had it all spray foamed professionally. And then we put tar paper and the old floorboards onto the walls to decorate it.
Yeah.
And then the up here is all burlap and quilt batting. So it absorbs the sound, because it used to be like echo, echo, echo,
right.
echo. And now it's not, which is nice. And we're still gonna put some, like, kind of like get some old beams and then mill them out and half faux beam them onto there.
Sounds like you need a sawmill.
Yeah, right? I do. And then, and so the coolest thing though we built with the laser is this guy.
That is cool. How long did it take you to cut like each chunk out? Like,
well,
how many
Matt
passes?
designed them. Oh, it was 6 passes for this 1/4 inch stuff. So that was a bit, you know, excessive, but it cut out pretty decently.
Because I think I have a laser that'll do 4 millimeters, which is like,
yeah. So, I mean, this isn't the material that they sell. The ones that they sell, you can do it in like 3, but this is a little thicker and a little more dense. Like theirs, that's 1/4 inch. It's got like more of a pithy stuff in the middle of some sort, like a basswood and then maple on the outside. And so I didn't trust that for structural strength. You know, it would be great for making a little teeny toy drone or something like that, and you attach your parts to it. But this thing takes, you know, has like 50 pounds of pressure when it's at full draw. So it's like,
you don't want it to fly apart on you. And...
No, and blow yourself up. And Harbor Freight clamps for the structural part of it, so it can extend out and stuff.
Wow, good light in here.
Yeah,
it's great light.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of LED light.
Cut the drawbridge.
Drawbridge.
This is like the hot room. It's got you don't air condition it for.
Well, there is air conditioning, but they try to be good about it and turn it off until it gets warm in the morning, and then some freezing like it hot. I come in, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Turn on the AC. Nobody realized they're like a bunch of lobsters in the pot and they're being warmed up. They never notice that they're cooking.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude. So John's over here editing Greg's channel, and then Matt editing mine, Aiden and Grant, and then that's my desk there. So I'll take the final cuts of the videos and I'll go back through them, watch them, and make a couple extra jokes, stuff like that, and you know, add on to it.
There's your plaque. There's the million subscribers.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I got that one, and I got Greg's somewhere here too, and hopefully we're gonna have another million plaque from him soon.
Yeah, Greg Ovens. It'll appear right below. Chris will do that.
Yeah.
He's good at doing that, right?
Yeah.
When I say that, Greg Ovens.
Ovens Rocky Mountain Bushcraft.
There you go.
So that's the quick tour. The house is on the other side of all this. So like if you go through the door, I like it. My wife doesn't like it so much, but you go through the door and you're in my bedroom. So we can't sleep in because the guys are here at 9. And we're like, you know, if we're up late squidding or something like that, you know, all night, and then we sleep in, we hear them in here talking and stuff. We're like, oh, we got to get up for the day. Not that we sleep in a lot, but yeah. So still lots to do in here and make it kind of finish, but it's pretty fun. It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse, but for big boys, not weird, creepy people.
Where did you get your staircase? I'm really curious.
This was just off Facebook Marketplace, and it was 3 steps too high.
Yeah.
I cut them off and reset the screws and made it so that the platform ended up right where it did, and it worked out really good.
It's really nice.
I took some PV blaster and some sledgehammering and then cutting and boom. And I cut this, I believe, I cut this here and removed those last 3 steps. And so, I mean, you could bring one back with you if you found one on Facebook Marketplace. You just have to get your own pole. You can get each of the steps individually. A lot of people sell them in just a pile of steps. And then you get your own spiral staircase and put it together.
You know what? Maybe I'll keep an eye on. I'm here for a week. So
Yeah.
I might peruse on that's dangerous though. It's dangerous to be on Marketplace.
Yeah, it is. I love Facebook Marketplace. That's where we got the boat.
Yeah.
It's Facebook Marketplace. Is like, and I think I overpaid for it because now the motor's blown. So we're gonna take the 25 off of my other boat and put it on this because we dragged it the other day with the 25 to bring it back and take it out of the water, and we were flying and we were only dragging it at half speed. So if I put the 25 actually on it, I think it's gonna be more than enough. I don't need a 90.
Well, once you get it going, right? Like really, like it's a house boat at the end of the day, right?
When we're done, yeah.
You put a 90 on there, like you're gonna be flying.
We don't really need to fly.
You know?
We're planning on cruising a mile and a half, maybe 3 at the most.
Right.
And then parking for the day, taking the kayaks out and adventuring, and then coming back to it, and then cooking on it and hanging out. We're not looking at cruising all the way up some giant lake, getting there, swimming for 15 minutes, and then cruising all the way back just because we wanted to show off.
Well, your fuel will be better too. Like on a smaller motor, get her going like nice clip. You're not skiing behind it.
No.
No. Maybe skiing
behind
it? You know what?
We might try with the paddle boards. You could cruise in. And...
I would put like a side piece on it where you can put like a jet ski, like for like actual like, you know.
My kids want a jet ski, but I'm on to keep it quiet.
I'm on Team Jet Ski. Go.
Team Jet Ski.
Can't watch Kevin's channel.
Yeah.
Camera's on there, right?
His camera's on. Flex those muscles.
You're right there.
I'll show you.
Did you end up getting your piece de resistance? The wheel, the ship's wheel.
No, I looked at them and I couldn't find a really good one that wasn't just for decoration, and then they were like wouldn't be here till Friday. So I did find like there's an antique store downtown.
Yes.
So when we go to run out, they had all kinds of bronze ones with wood handles.
Oh.
And then so I don't know how much they're gonna cost. It might end up costing me more. But if we could find the one with the right shaft size, then it might be worth it. And they also had like piles of port light windows and all these things, so I think we need to go there.
So every time I go, I travel to Newfoundland in Canada, I always go before the tourist season, so none of those shops are open when I show up. Everything's closed. And I've never been in one of those like marine sort of shops. So
this was cool. Like an antique store. There's so many around here. Like every 10 feet there's an antique store. And then they have these little booths for each of the people, and all the stuff's labeled. So they bring their stuff in, they set up their little booth. You know, like this, like 12 by 8, and it's full of all their junk, and like some, you know, and then they go and they redecorate all the time.
Right.
And it's their job to kind of.
That's cool.
And the store, the antique store itself sells their stuff for them for a commission.
Maybe I didn't bring in a big enough vehicle.
I know. You're gonna see some really cool stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to like put it on the roof and stuff. Yeah.
There's like a submarine guy helmet there, like the old, diving helmet.
Yeah.
And I've kind of like, I've been eyeballing it for years, and I'm like, oh man, I kind of want that, you know. But oh, cool! You guys load it into Ralph's truck.
It's got the nail picker upper and everything.
Oh
yeah.
Zach's off doing his thing. I feel as though we're gonna get everything done all at the same time. What if they're throwing anything good out? What are those, Chris?
These are lobster traps.
Where's the lobster?
In the ocean still.
Okay.
Maybe we can get some while
So
you're here.
I'm curious, like, do you need like obviously you need some sort of permit to catch lobster?
Yeah, so there's a commercial license and a recreational license. Zach has a recreational. He's allowed, what is it, Aaron? 6 traps or is it 5? 5 traps. 5 traps.
Did you get 5 traps and how many lobster per trap? Doesn't matter.
It's a keeper size, so there's like a slot limit, like fish. Yeah.
So you can have 2 people registered to the same boat. So you could actually get your lobster license and register on Zach's boat, and you and him could run 10 traps at a time rather than
I thought
just
it was
5.
Single registration. Do they just change it
Double on
recently?
one boat.
Oh, neat.
Yep, that's what me and my wife are planning to do for our boat.
We are at the lake, my tiny house property.
Okay.
Which is not done.
It's not done. Well, you know what? We're actually here to pick up tools because, well, you're like me. When you got multiple projects and multiple tools, you always
They're in multiple locations, aren't they?
Well, you almost need another set of tools just to follow you.
Well, you know what? I did have 2 sets of tools since I started this. I've got almost 2 full sets of tools, except for the fact that I've been bringing even more tools here every single time. So somebody else has a screw gun, and the next person has a screw gun, and
it's a great spot.
And yeah, so the next thing I know, now all my tools are here.
Yeah.
So
well, that's a really cool lockbox. So anyways, I'm gonna give Zach a hand. I'm gonna give you kind of like this is we're getting ready for it's a pirate ship.
Well, here, let's go grab the tools from down below. And
what's the official name of this thing?
This is the Sugar Shack Oh, the Waterworld thing?
Then what we're doing? We're building a pirate ship.
We're building a pirate ship for Waterworld, yeah. Yeah, and this is the Sugar Shack tiny house.
Okay.
So it's styled after a sugar shack, you know. Traditional Maine, well, Canadian type thing, right?
That's right.
That's why.
You got all maple trees on here, so like you can actually, are you gonna boil?
I don't have very many maple trees. I have enough to make
those
like
are oak?
one gallon. Yeah, these are all oak.
Huh.
So I have enough to make 1 gallon of sap from my maple trees that I do have here a year.
We have very few oak.
Which is amazing.
Where,
Yeah.
where we are.
I remember.
Massive.
It's a lot of pines and then maples, it seemed like.
Yeah, there's a crazy big oak. And we're gonna give a little bit of a tour today. I am curious how he did in his methods of construction and basically overall appearance of what he's got built here, because I think it's really cool what he's doing and the property's on. So let's get the tour started. So when you first come down the road from the basically the parking area up front, there's kind of like an incline down the slope, and it leads to a landing pad which is down here. It looks like he's got some geotextile down here. This is gonna help with his erosion and the fact that it's on a slope, so it's given a nice perfect base for his tiny home. So this is a tiny home. This is pretty cool. What he's done with it is he's actually added what appears to be pine boards, and he's done the old technique of the susugiban, which involves the ancient preservation technique of charring the boards before he's put them on. And looks like he's done, it's actually tongue and groove, which is kind of cool. I thought it was going to be board and batten, but it is tongue and groove, so he doesn't have to worry about the water infiltrating the seams. What I traditionally do would do like board and batten kind of style, but this works well. He looks like he's got some, let's say OSB on the roof, and he's got his windows in. It appears as though he doesn't have his roof on yet. He's got his door all set up. I should have brought my tools here to actually, you know, maybe surprise him. Like, hey, I installed the door. But we've had some crazy rains over the last little while, and well, he doesn't have his roof on, so you can see that it's not quite watertight. He's probably, I believe he's gonna be working on this relatively soon. He's got a lot on his plate. Zach is a busy guy, but he's got it like, this thing's like super built. The way he's got blocking every 2 feet, kind of 2 foot on squares with 16-inch on center, and he's got, oh my, he's got like double top plate, makes it extra high. It's built like an old school, you see, like a sugar shack. He's got the cupola roof on the thing. I guess at some point he could probably cut the roof off there and put like a range hood and have his evaporator pan right down in this little area here in order to, you know, evaporate maple syrup or whatnot. Yeah, he's moving quite along. He's got his racking, you know, stability wise, it's not gonna move anywhere. Well, that one's probably just storage. That one there, so he doesn't tilt. Probably he had to transport it to this location. This here's a neat little detail, which is he's got aluminum, looks like flashing underneath each window. I imagine that's to shed the water out and down if it were to get inside the window, but I've never seen that before. It must be like a Maine thing. I'm not sure if it's like driving rain or whatnot. But yeah, this thing's built really solidly. Some of the things I would have done differently on this particular build is I don't think I would have put as much blocking. And the only reason is because when you have blocking in there, it gets rid of your R value because it takes space of insulation. Now I would have just probably stick framed it 16-inch on center, and I probably would have spray foamed the whole thing. But you know what? There's many different ways to skin a cat, as they say. The other thing is the OSB on the floor. I don't know if I would have just stacked it that way. I would have probably staggered my seams, although this is on a trailer and is movable, so it doesn't really matter that much, but I would have staggered my seams and possibly used some sort of like weatherproof or you know, marine grade plywood on the floor, because it is exposed to the underside. I haven't looked underneath the thing to see what he's got underneath there for waterproofing, because the moisture is going to come up from the floor and possibly make that OSB go poof. But yeah, you can seal that stuff from below, or you can put it like a subfloor or something. Maybe we should go take a look. And there's the underside of his trailer. Looks like, yeah, it's just OSB. I'm not sure if that's weatherproof or not, but it's definitely something. It looks like it's pretty darn solid. He's got his tires there. You can see the trailer, and he's got a little bit of a retaining wall to prevent any kind of erosion. And he's kind of built it right into the earth, which is really cool. And he's got those, I guess on top of the geotextile, he's got what looks to be stall mats which would be for like horse barns or something. This is a really heavy, thick rubber, and it's a really good solution when you haven't got, you know, a patio yet, because you can move these guys around. Although they are very pricey, you can find them. A lot of guys that are replacing their either cattle barns or horse barns, they tend to get rid of them real cheap. So that's I have a bunch of these guys here. They're really expensive. One of the issues I see out here is that he's probably got to regrade a little bit. He's got to actually take this this hump out of here and slope it away from the building, because that's going to end up just kind of, as Don would say, it could be like a gully washer down underneath the cabin. You kind of want to shoot it out there, although that might have been done by design, and try to have all the water kind of pool down there in this little trough area here. But yeah, it's weathered the storm so far, so it seems to be okay. All right, so that's the tour of the cabin. We're going to take a look at the property. Where I'm from in Ontario, I don't see a lot of oak trees. This is what's primarily on this property. It's really tall oak trees. I don't even see them this tall, and I'm not sure this is the same type of oak tree we have in Ontario, but yeah, these ones are like crazy tall. And let's see if we got the maybe you guys can tell me what kind of oak tree this is. My oak leaf is more defined, and this is kind of rounded. I don't know if this is a bad specimen of a leaf, but yeah, that's what they are. They're all crazy tall. I haven't seen any acorns yet, and I don't know if these are like acorn bear. They must be. I can kind of see a little bit. You can also see a lot of deer droppings. I think that's deer droppings. Or is that an acorn? Okay, there's an acorn. Well, you know what they say about an acorn? An acorn is basically a tree. You know, in a nutshell. Well, I've figured out why his tiny house isn't done. This is a stunning view of the lake and the dock. Kind of like the crowning jewel in the crown. This dock is, that's a beautiful location. Even like a quiet, serene kind of shoreline. You know what? Like, water's crystal clear. You got a nice little area out there to hang out. You know what? You just kind of, that's why when you have a cottage, it's never done. It's kind of like one of those things that you just kind of do a little bit each day, and then you sit on the end of the dock and enjoy your vacation. Kind of gives you that sense of accomplishment and relaxation. But like, this is a nice spot. This is a beautiful spot. I'm just looking at all the rocks, actually, to see if I want to take any more rocks. I just leave all these guys here. There's actually a neat little, these guys here, crazy little root guys. They make a lot of ugly sticks, which are like walking sticks. That's kind of cool, but that's still part of the tree. Usually they break off, and I think that's from like an oak. Like, that'd be like an oak tree ugly stick. If there was any of those guys, I'd be stashing those in my vehicle. Those are pretty cool. They just look neat, and they're gnarly, and it's hardwood. I usually see what the kind of wood that I see like that is usually like a spruce or something, so softwood, but I've never seen an oak gnarly stick. Zach's got his little sunshade on here, polycarbonate, to keep himself out of the rain. He's got his little power pack sitting down there, so he's got all the amenities he needs. I'm sure if he had a solar panel up on that bad boy, he'd have power all day long. There is no shade in sight. It's extremely bright. This actually, what's neat about this dock is that I actually watched a video where he reclaimed it. This is actually a used dock he got for super cheap and relocated it. It weighs a ton, and he's got actually more dock pieces up there, I believe, and all the metal posts to go around with it. So if he wants to make an addition to his dock, he can. And he's got the really cool patio lanterns going all the way. I can imagine this is like a very serene spot in nighttime. He's got his little bar area here, which, you know, a cooking station. He's got a solo stove set up on the dock. This thing is cool. Like little Muskoka chairs up there. This thing's like a little piece of paradise. I say, you know what, well done on the dock. He's got his ladder going into the lake. That thing's awesome. Well, I know where I'm coming next time I come down here. I'm gonna stay at the tiny house when it's done.
We got our solo stove, and that's the planks and stuff that I milled.
Oh yeah. And
milled up a table, and yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do a more of an extensive tour on this guy. I'm not gonna ruin it here.
We're just grabbing tools.
Yes. Got everything here. You got the jackery all set up, and yeah.
Yeah.
This is a nice little spot. You even got the shady spot. Anyways, I'm gonna give it more of a tour. We're just gonna a tour, and we're just gonna give. We're picking up the tools. Focus. We're gonna focus. I focus. I feel like.
Work to do.
Look at the lake. I don't know. It's just, it feels like it's just sitting by the lake there. I'm a ginger. I'm gonna cook. Who am I kidding? I'll sit in the shade on the shore.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall. This thing goes anywhere, the snow dog. Wait, no. We don't need the compressor because I got my big one at the house. Socket driver.
I just put it all in the
bar and chain. That, yeah, but just bring it all. Whatever. Don't need the chainsaw.
Charger. Charger's important.
Charger's important. Yeah. Socket driver.
Socket.
Probably need the wedges and sockets.
We are going up the hill on a giant lawnmower. I got it. No, it's not sliding. I thought we were just gonna.
It's sometimes I've done it, but other days.
It's like a giant lawnmower slash rototiller slash skidoo.
It's just a Briggs and Stratton.
That's automatic tailgate. Holy moly! Well, that pretty much wraps up my tour of Fowler's tiny house build. Hopefully he can wrap it up soon so we can actually come back and stay at this location. It's pretty cool. He's made some really good progress. I really like what he's doing there, and it's gonna look awesome when he's done. Just a small,
feels nice.
a small pit stop, and now we're ready. We got all our tools loaded up. We're gonna head back to the build site. We're gonna make the boat.
The boat.
Is this like
Das Boot?
Is this like an average day in the Fowler life?
I wouldn't say it's an average day. It's a little bit more chaotic.
Okay.
Than usual. We usually have a little bit of chaos though at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we get underway and it starts to form a pace. This time though, because this is such a big project, we brought in like everybody. Like everybody's here and on it and stuff.
You know what I did notice about the States is that there's like convenience stores and gas stations everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy because in Canada like they're all closed and there's very few of them.